Brought to you by Penguin. The Death of the Heart by Elizabeth Bowen, read by Shannon Tarbet. Part 1. The World. Chapter 1. That morning's ice, no more than a brittle film, had cracked and was now floating in segments. These, tapped together, or parting, left channels of dark water down which swans in slow indignation swam. The island stood in frozen woody brown dusk. It was now between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. A sort of breath from the clay, from the city outside the park, condensing, made the air unclear. Through this, the trees round the lake soared frigidly up. Bronze cold of January bound the sky and the landscape. The sky was shut to the sun, but the swans, the rims of the ice, the pallid withdrawn Regency terraces, had an unnatural burnish, as though cold were light. There is something momentous about the height of winter. Steps rang on the bridges and along the black walks. This weather had set in. It would freeze harder tonight. On a footbridge between an island and the mainland, a man and woman stood talking, leaning on the rail. In the intense cold, which made everyone hurry, they had chosen to make this long summer-like pause. Their oblivious stillness made them look like lovers. Actually, their elbows were some inches apart. They were riveted not to each other, but to what she said. Their thick coats made their figures sexless and stiff as chessmen. They were well-to-do. Inside bulwarks of fur and cloth, their bodies generated a steady warmth. They could only see the cold. Or, if they felt it, they only felt it at their extremities. Now and then he stamped on the bridge, or she brought her muff up to her face. Ice pushed down the channel under the bridge, so that while they talked, their reflections were constantly broken up. He said, "You were mad ever to touch the thing." "All the same, I feel sure you would have, St. Quentin." "No, I doubt that. I never do want to know, really, what anyone thinks." "If I'd had the slightest idea, however, you did. And I've seldom been more upset." "Poor Anna." "How did you find it, though?" "Oh, I wasn't looking for it," said Anna quickly. "I should far rather not know that the thing existed. Until then, you see, I'd had no idea that it did. Her white dress came back with one of mine from the cleaners. I unpacked mine because I wanted to put it on. Then, as Matchett was out that day, I took hers up to hang it up in her room. Portia was out at lessons, of course. Her room looked, as I've learnt to expect, shocking. She has all sorts of arrangements Matchett will never touch. You know what some servants are, how they ride one down, and at the same time make all sorts of allowance for temperament and children or animals. You would call her a child? In ways. She's more like an animal. I made that room so pretty before she came. I had no idea how blindly she was going to live. Now I hardly ever go in there. It's simply discouraging." St. Quentin said rather vaguely, "How annoying for you." He had screwed round his head inside the folds of his scarf to consider Anna with abstract attentiveness. For she had this little way of travestying herself and her self-pities, till the view she took of herself, when she was with him, seemed to concert exactly with the view he took of her sex. She wrote herself down like this, obligingly, to suit him, with a touch of friendly insolence. He saw in this overacting a kind of bluffing, which made him like Anna, whom he liked much more. Her smoothness of contour, her placid, derisive smile, her way of drawing her chin in when she did smile, often made him think of a sardonic, bland white duck. But there seemed
Sample complete. Ready to continue?